Hello, and welcome to Inside OUSD. I'm Communications Director John Sasaki, and it is now getting close to summer, and this is when people are going to start planning their summer out for academics. And so we are talking today with Julie McAlmont, who's in charge of summer learning, and Emiliano Sanchez, who oversees our career and technical education internships. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And first of all, if you can, just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Sure. So Julie McAlmont, I'm a California native. My family's from Stockton. I went to college at UC Santa Cruz.
Go Banana Slugs.
Yeah, and I started my career with OUSD 21 years ago. The bulk of my years I spent at Oakland High School, go Wildcats, and I was a teacher there for 10 years, focusing on resource and working with kids with learning differences. From there, I took my experience and now I coordinate summer learning for the district. So for the last 10 years, I've been running summer learning programs across the city.
Very good. Emiliano?
So first of all, thank you, John, for the invite. Family's originally from Mexico, and we came up when they brought me up when I was 3, and I've been in Oakland ever since. Went to Lockwood Elementary, Lazier Elementary, Hamilton, which then transferred to Calvin Simmons, now United for Success. Then, of course, I graduated from Fremont. So I'm Fremont. Go Tigers. So in college, I started off at UC Davis, and I actually bounced around a little bit at UC Davis. I actually did some community college at Laney, Merritt, etc. Ended up graduating from Cal State Hayward, Cal State East Bay now. And then I started working with Oakland Unified in '91. So I've been working with the district for about 32 years now. I've done everything from instructional assistant to substitute teacher, and then teacher, assistant principal, and now my current role, and principal at Fremont, actually. Yeah, go Tigers. And now I'm the coordinator of CT Trace and Apprenticeship, and my role is to expose our students in high school and middle school to the world of work, everything from architecture, engineering, construction. We also help, in arts, media, entertainment, culinary arts, whatever their passion is. We try and provide the teachers with resources so they can prepare our students for the world of work.
Perfect. So you kind of transitioned there really nicely. So the question really is, what is summer learning? I mean, some of it's internships, some of it's not, some of it's in the classroom. So if you can explain that.
Love talking about summer learning. So during the summer, Oakland Unified, we go from a district of 36,000 students to about 8,000 students. And from TK all the way to 12th grade, we have a variety of summer programs. I think what makes the Oakland Unified summer learning programs truly special is that it's not summer school, it's not just classroom academics, it's a mix. So yes, you're going to have academics, yes, you're going to work with certificated teachers, but you're also going to have enrichment. We partner with dozens and dozens of amazing community organizations, and they come onto the campus and they provide enrichment. So the kids get a mix of different adults. We're going on field trips, we're having a good time, and we're staying sharp and continuing our learning.
And before we transition into internships, I want to ask you about part of the big real reason behind doing summer learning is summer slide, and avoiding that. Can you explain that real quick?
Sure. So it's been well documented for almost 20 years now that when children leave the school year in June and then start the school year again in September, they actually their skills decrease. It's really noticeable in mathematics and in their reading levels. And so one of the reasons why we have so many summer programs is we want our kids to stay sharp. We want them to keep practicing their skills, keep practicing their mathematics, keep working on their reading, so that they start the school year stronger, more confident, and hit the ground running.
So the brain is a tool, and you got to keep practicing with that tool to make it sharp. Okay. And so go ahead and tell us then the internship aspect of it. This is directed primarily at high school students?
It's predominantly high school, yes.
Okay, and
yes.
so what's that all about then?
So actually, some of the individuals that are working with the elementary school students are actually some of our interns. That's an opportunity for our students to be exposed to the world of work. And so they get an opportunity to, if they want to go into the education field or work in that. We've had everything from reading buddies to support through Parks and Rec. So we have a plethora of opportunities for our students. And so it gives them an opportunity to continue their education on something that's aligned to their pathway, or their interests. Sometimes they go, I'm in this pathway, but I really want to look into health. I'm in this pathway, but I really are interested and I want to find out more about this career. And so it gives them an opportunity to get it from adults, because after a while, teachers and educators were just talking heads, right? And so they need to hear from somebody in the world of work. They need to be said, no, that's not how you do it, from someone in the world of work. And so they get an opportunity to learn what's it about, hands-on experience, and hopefully they find out, yes, this is something I want to do, and sometimes they go, no, this is something I definitely don't want to do.
And so explain, I think there may be some people in our community that don't really understand what this pathway means. So what is linked learning, and how is this pathway tied to education?
So across the district, our high schools are pretty much wall-to-wall pathways, and so it's a career-themed pathway. So for example, at Oakland High, you have the Public Health Academy, and so they still take the A to G requirements, but then their electives are their CTE courses that are aligned to public health. Then we have the Media Academy at Fremont, that their core courses are their A to G courses preparing for college, but then their CTE courses are aligned to media and arts and entertainment. And you get the same, whether it's an engineering course or it's a construction pathway, the Architecture Academy. You also have
engineering.
Yeah. Oakland High has their IDEA pathway, that's their engineering. At McClymonds, it's a Project Lead the Way engineering. So each of them each school has at least one. The smaller schools have one pathway. As they grow in size, they may have 2 to 3 pathways.
And so this is about aligning kids to an education that kind of aligns with what they're planning on, at least thinking hypothetically.
Correct.
What they may be doing later in life. And is that, do studies show that alignment actually helps them connect better with their education?
Well, yes. I mean, when we weren't wall-to-wall pathways, we did the study, and it showed that the pathway students excelled. Their attendance was better, their graduation rate was better, the A to G completion was better. So all that because they were getting that small school feel in a large school. And they were getting attention, and they were doing things that were aligned to what their interest was. So.
Very good. So if you can, talking about summer school, what kinds of classes are available in summer school? Because I would think that a lot of them are kind of core things, but there are also a lot of electives.
Sure. So starting with our youngest, and I'll move up. So at our youngest ages, we have programs for a kid who maybe is going to go to kindergarten in the fall, but maybe hasn't been to preschool. So summer learning, we have a Bridge to K program where kids and families come together and just learn about school, learn about their new campus. All the way up to, let's say you're a 5th grader and you're going to go to Roosevelt in the fall and you're nervous. Well, you can go to Roosevelt's Bridge to 6 program. And then you're going to spend the summer, you're going to work on your academics, you're going to work on your writing skills, but you're also going to get to know your big new campus, get to know the adults. Same thing all the way up as you go into high school. We have a Bridge to 9th program to help kids get used to their big campus. If you're going to go to Oakland Tech in the fall, or you're going to Ojai, a Bridge program can really help you get oriented to your campus. And then, of course, as you get into the high school, the programming changes a bit. Where high school, we're doing what's called academic recovery. So at the high school level, your school counselor will invite you if you've got some D's or F's on your transcript. And we know that D's and F's aren't really acceptable if you want to get into a UC or a CSU. And so summer learning provides the opportunity to retake that class, get a higher grade, and wipe that D or F off your transcript. So this is a way that we keep kids on track for graduation.
And the advantage to that, I would think, at least among others, is this idea that you're doing 1 or maybe 2 classes, so really focused on that topic. Whereas when you're doing the class among all the other ones you're taking during the year, it's a lot harder.
Right. Yeah. I mean, summer is there's just a better feel in general. There's less kids on campus. The classes themselves are smaller. But for the high school, it's true. You're only going to make up 2 classes. That's 10 credits. And so you really get to focus in and work on those skills and feel successful and feel like you're ready to go for the new school year.
And I got to tell you, I've talked to quite a few of our kids who've graduated through credit recovery. So they do the summer graduation and the pride they show after doing that. They weren't thrilled that they had to do that, but they were so happy that they did it. And to see that success for them is really cool.
Yes, definitely. When you talk about research, kids that that participate in a summer learning program have a greater trajectory, that they're going to graduate from high school, they're more likely to go to college, and they're more likely to feel engaged with their community. They're going to make new friends, they're going to work on their leadership skills, and all in all, just have a better educational experience.
Fantastic. So what, you kind of mentioned some of these, but can you give us some interesting options that kids have for summer internships? Because it seems to run the gamut.
Yes, it runs the gamut. Again, we have some firms that in architecture. We have other firms that are doing, we've had one with boxing gym. We've had other golf course. We have a program at Cypress Mandela where we take up to 30 students and they learn about the world of construction, the world of work. We have East Bay Mud. East Bay Mud offers 6 opportunities in a variety of their departments. So we've PG&E. So it really depends on what our hosts offer. And sometimes you think PG&E, oh, that's all energy. Well, they have multiple points of entry. They have HR, they have PR departments. They have their health department. So they bring people in at different areas. So we have different partners that are confirming and investing in our youth. And so we have, like I said, we have a plethora. Plus we have, through the program, we also have our Peralta Institute where students can take classes that are aligned to either their pathway or their interests, and they can do everything from culinary arts, cosmetology, learn about the world of construction. They can learn auto and diesel. So we're trying to offer a huge opportunity. Julie's has 7,000 to 8,000. We have about 700 students in our component, just ourselves.
And is there opportunity to bring even more kids into that?
We're always striving to bring in more. We're looking for the commitment by the school. We do have, since they stipend, we do have a funding restriction because the funding comes from the OFCUY grant, and it also comes from the Measure N funds that the schools provide. So that is our one limit, because we want to make sure that every student is engaged in the summer with an opportunity that exposes them and also compensates them, because we know some of our students, if it weren't for that, they'd be looking for work.
And so let's make that clear. These summer internships are paid.
Yes, they are. They receive a stipend.
So and that can be what, 1,500 to 2,000, even more?
I wish. Well, some of them can. It depends on our hosts. Some of them actually pay the internship, and they'll pay minimum wage and the number of hours. So we've had some students that have gotten up to 2,500. Our stipend, if you take a Peralta class, is 200 to 300 up to 1,000, depending on the number of units and the hour commitment. And the same thing with our internships, is either 500 to 1,000, depending on the number commitment. But again, we have some industry partners that say we're paying the whole amount, and we're going to pay them at minimum wage.
In the end, and you both have kind of addressed this a little bit, but in the end, what do you see as the end result of summer school, whether it's for TK kids or it's for 5th graders, 10th graders, or even graduating seniors? What do you see as a result of that, and as a result of these internships? I mean, what kinds of changes do these things really affect?
Well, I mean, at the elementary level, we've got data that shows that kids make huge amounts of reading growth. In only a 5-week summer program, some kids can make 2 months growth. And another benefit of summer learning are all the adults that we hire, all of our district teachers and all the people that we hire. They're really working on their craft as well. So they're getting better at doing it. The kids are getting stronger. And then when you get to the older kids, I mean, speaking about Emiliano's internship, let's remember that those kids are getting that special work experience. They're also getting credits on their transcripts for doing that in addition to the stipend. They're being mentored all summer long by a coach that's checking in with them every day. So again, it just goes back to that connection to their education, that feeling of empowerment, that they have the agency to make decisions and try new experiences and take risks. So I think there's that benefit of academics, but there's also that benefit of just development and social emotionally.
In addition to all of that, what they build is that relationship. So they get that experience, something that's super powerful, because it's powerful to find out this isn't something I want to do. I don't want to do that. It's better to find that out in high school than it is in college. But if you do connect, now hopefully you've built a connection and relationship with someone who can take you on as an intern if and when you go to college, and then possibly employment. We've had students that have gone on to internships, and they've built relationships with agencies and companies, and then they will come back and they'll get those internships when they're college students and actually hired. But the big thing is, our industry partners want to see our kids do well, and so every time a student does well, it opens the door for another student behind them. Right, and so that's why we prepare our students with mock interviews, with resume reviews. So, like that, when an industry partner is getting them, we've already worked with them with those soft skills. And so, success in the program, just when we started doing this 8 years ago, it was 175 students, and now we're 700 students. So we've grown.
And you and I were recently talking to an industry partner, and you were mentioning how some of our kids are even getting those jobs after they're done
Right
high
after,
school.
yes.
And so, I mean, and these are really high-paying jobs too.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that right there shows the practical impact we can have on a kid who's just getting out of high school.
Yes.
How proud are you guys to be doing this work?
I love it. It's 10 years of building out summer learning programs have been the most rewarding experience, and just helping families, make it easy for them to enroll. We have families will get direct invitations on their cell phone. All they have to do is say, yes, I want to go. We load all the information in. There's no more filling out big packets of paper. So it's all about access, and for kids to have safe places to be, to stay active, to get healthy meals, and to keep their brains sharp. I mean, what's better than that?
Yeah. And how do kids sign up for the internships then?
Well, so everything is site-based. So there's somebody at each school site that's either their work-based learning liaison or college career readiness specialist or transition specialist that's there, and the students can go see them. They will show them. We have all our opportunities on a spreadsheet that they can go, and they go, oh, this one sounds interesting, I want this. They can apply. And yes, the satisfaction of just seeing them a few years down the road actually doing what they got through that internship is so empowering, and for them to actually come back and tell us. So, I mean, the exposure is tremendous. When we get DMs and say, hey, I'm working in this now, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool.
The pride on the two of you is pretty powerful, just from what I'm seeing. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Inside OUSD. We will see you next time.